Hello, I am Nicole Oman with Guided by the Omens, and today is August 3rd, and I'm here with your weekly guidance. This is where I look at the astrological transits for the week ahead and then pick a couple cards to give you a little advice and guidance on how to navigate them. Welcome to this week. I hope you are having a beautiful week. There is a lot of energy on us getting into our power and knowing who we are. At the end of this week, we are going to end with the Lionsgate 8-8 portal. But before this portal is at its peak, we will feel this energy beforehand and a little afterward. And what Lionsgate is when the sun, the earth, and the star system Sirius are in alignment. In the Egyptian tradition, they literally have their pyramids pointed to the constellation and the star system of Sirius. And so they believe that that energy will help us manifest who we are and what we desire. Hopefully that's aligned with your heart and with love so that you can make a bigger impact and your purpose becomes grander and greater. So all the transits this week, I am going to be reading with that in mind. What are we needing to manifest and what are we needing to embody within our life at this moment? We are doing a big ceremony on the beach this coming Lionsgate to help us anchor in our own intentions. So you might want to do something on Saturday to help you really ground out that energy for yourself. All right, so without further ado, let me connect to the transits and then let's see what this week has in store for us. So the first thing we have is something that happened yesterday, but will affect us because there is some shifting energy this week. That means that some of our planets are moving into different signs. Now, the planet of Mars yesterday moved into the sign of Gemini. And Gemini is this energy of mental processing, our thoughts, our ideas, and also reflecting with other people on what we believe and why we believe that way. So that can come in the form of people coming up and maybe being the contrarian or saying the exact opposite thing of your belief. And that might galvanize the very belief that you have and get you to a certain mental understanding of why you believe that way or allowing yourself to get even stronger into that belief. Mars is a planet of action. It's a planet of force. And it also can put us in a bit of a spicy mood. So be aware that if you get triggered mentally this coming week, it's because maybe there's a boundary that needs to be set. Maybe someone is saying something that is so asinine and you finally feel like, okay, that's enough. I need to call them out on this. This is ridiculous. But just be aware that that spicy energy is here to kind of have you have that maybe communication breakthrough, that conversation that you have been avoiding, and also maybe really being able to stand your ground and have your boundaries and healthy boundaries at the same time. I would warn though, be careful of taking things too personally and starting a fight for no reason. That also, maybe you might be the one that's like throwing your opinions on to people. Remember to listen to Gemini. Communication, it works both ways. It's not a one-way street. We could have a 6 on the ground and the other person standing on the other side of it, and you might be screaming, "It's a 6!" And the other person's, "It's a 9!" Sometimes we're both right, okay? So just keep that in mind as we have those communication opportunities that might arise. All right, so the first card that I have that just jumped out that I'm gonna go with this, and then I picked one. We have the King of Pentacles. This is an energy of staying grounded and staying in your own authority. You know what you believe. you know what experiences you have been through. Sometimes you might need to have those conversations in a very grounded way instead of letting our emotions take control. Okay, so allow yourself to get a little grounded before you have those, maybe flesh those thoughts out in a journaling process, or maybe even just deciding, okay, they think they're right. Maybe you don't have to argue. Maybe you go, you know what? I'm going to allow them to have that belief, but I'm going to stay grounded in mine. Because this man looks very peaceful. And the king energy is about authority. It is about maturity. And it's about, there is a bit about standing your ground here, right? So maybe it has to do with a conversation or even an argument, if you will. Or maybe you're even so mature that you go, I'm going to allow them to have their own thoughts. So the next one I have is the Six of Swords. So this kind of reminds me, that 6 and the 9, if you will, it reminds me that everybody's opinion has merit and it can drive us forward. And then there's parts of our opinion that are untethered, that are flighty, that don't mean as much as we think they mean. So this is kind of coming towards a certain sense of compromise, allowing bygones to be bygones and allowing people to think the way they think and kind of honor their experience of why they think that way. Okay? So these are the energies for this week ahead. Now, today and tomorrow, Chiron, the planet, or not planet, the asteroid of healing, the wounded healer, is going retrograde in the sign of Taurus. When it goes retrograde, it's time for us to step in deeper into our innermost self and see what needs to be healed. Within the sign of Taurus, this could be our value. It could be the way that we are taking care and nurturing our physical bodies. And it also can be around this energy of taking very practical action. Every Taurus that I know does not mind to work hard, but what are we working towards? So this Chiron energy is going, it's time potentially to do the inner work, to commit to that hard work and dedication that we might put out into all other aspects of our life, and kind of pull that energy back instead of doing it externally and going inward first. Once we do the inner work, then where we put our action, where we put our attention, and where we put our nurture might shift, and it might turn right on ourselves. Maybe we're taking care of everyone else and we need to take a step back and go, where does my body need the same amount of nourishment and care as I'm giving to other people? So I am going to pull a card or two for this particular energetic process. Okay. So, all right. All right, so the first card I have is the Seven of Pentacles. What are you nurturing? Are we nurturing our roots? Are we nurturing, what is under here? What are the seeds that are nurturing? What is growing? Also, there's a lot of this energy that I'm getting. I get this a lot with my relationship with Ryan. Of people ask me, how do I have a relationship with that? I like that. I would really like that. You don't just find a long-term relationship. A relationship is like a garden. It's something that you have to tend to all the time. I feel that way about our crystal store. We're always tending to it. We're pruning. We're letting go of things off the shelves that aren't working. We are putting new things on those shelves. And so it's nice and healthy and fresh. And that's why we have so much success. It's not because we found some sort of magical formula. It's because we always have our fingers in the dirt and we're seeing what's working, we're seeing what's not, and we're tending to that garden. And Ryan and I do that in our relationship. We do that with our children. It's like you have to put the energy and the effort into what you want to create. So if you're like, why isn't the universe just delivering this thing to me? Well, maybe they're delivering you the seeds and they're asking you to take care of the seeds that they have given you so that it actually grows. So this is not to kind of harp on you, but look around and see what you've neglected, and that might give you the insight of what you need to tend to as Chiron goes retrograde, so that you can start having that sproutling, you can start taking care of that potential, that sproutling that will eventually turn into a tree and give you its fruit. Another thing that I want to say with the cards that popped out, there's a couple here. So first, we might have to walk away from things that aren't serving us. Maybe we are needing to change where we have planted our seeds, letting go of what isn't reciprocal. So this energy is about reciprocity. This is about noticing what relationships and what projects we're putting our energy into, and if those projects are also delivering the balanced and equal amount of fruit or exchange or energy. And if you're just putting and dumping money into something, or you're dumping energy into someone and they are not reciprocating that amount of love, support, gratitude, time, and energy, then those are not the projects or people that are healthy for you. I remember when I went through burnout, I had a very strong boundary that this time I'm not going to have friends or clients that are not grateful, that are not wanting and available to give me that same amount of equal energy exchange, because I burnt myself out and put myself into quite a horrible situation, to be honest with you. And then we have the Ace of Wands here. This is like clearing out some fogginess and illusion within our own sight, our third eye, but it also is realigning us with what we're passionate about. Maybe we have taken on a little bit of these pet projects that we're not really passionate about. Maybe we felt obligated. When we start really tending to ourselves, we'll get a lot more direction, more alignment, and more clarity on what is really serving us and what is putting that fire underneath us, so we really want to be passionate and take action as we move forward. This goes along a lot with this Lionsgate portal. What do we actually want to manifest, and what do we need to let go of? So then on August 6th, we have the Sun trining Saturn in Aries. So the Sun is in Leo, fire sign, trining Saturn in Aries, also fire sign. Saturn is this energy of maturation, and Leo energy is all about being ourselves, being unapologetically who we are, and shining forth into the world. And Saturn in Aries is going, it is time to take action and allow yourself to do that. Aries is all about taking action, and is all about, who am I? Who am I? What is my identity? What is my unique signature in the world? And Leo and Aries both kind of honor those things. So how can we mature that? How can we mature our identity? How we put ourselves out into the world? And how do we really allow ourselves to be the most authentic aspects of ourselves? Oh, interesting. Okay, hold on. This involves other people. The Leo and Aries are all very independent energies, and this is not what I fully expected, but we have the Two of Cups and we have the Three of Cups. This is about how we show up in relationship, what we're bringing to the table, and how the beauty of our own light, our own perspective, our own spectrum of color here really brings healing and support into your life and into your world. This is really seeing your value in relationships, knowing that you are worthy and deserving of not super hyper toxic relationships. And also, if you have found yourself in toxic relationships, the only way to break those patterns is to take responsibility of where we get addicted to the drama, or where we want to fix someone else, or we want to take care of someone else, or you fall in love with their potential instead of their reality. But also seeing that you do bring a lot to the table and you have a lot to offer. This also is connected with community. This is the seven sisters, or the Pleiadian energy, which so much connected to these constellations this week. And being in community, especially maybe figuring out being with some amazing people this week, as especially on Saturday, to really have a similar focused intent. When we are with other people, it literally amplifies our intentions, especially when we're all in alignment. It's actually scientific, right? So it's not that it like 2 times 2, it's like we cube the energy of the people that we have. So it's like if you're with 3 people, it's 3 cubed, right? So make sure that you are aligned with the people, and those people that you're with have similar intention. Know that you can be supported. Look at how they're all holding each other's back. That this isn't about competition. This is about support and collaboration. And with that intent, heightens the manifestation for all involved. Not just for you, but for everyone, and everyone's highest and greatest good. Also on August 6th/7th, we have another planet moving into a new sign, which it's Venus, and it's going into the sign of Libra. So Venus is actually ruled by Libra. So Venus likes this energy. Venus can bring in love, finer things of life. This is really good to really anchor into as we go into this Lionsgate portal. So let me see. I almost feel like those 2 cards on that last poll are very Venus and Libra energetically. But let's see what we get here. So we can, here we go again, the Ace of Wands. This is about passion. What do you want in relationship? What do you want in passion? What lights you up? This Venus and Libra energy is saying, hey, it might be time to shine. Maybe put yourself out there. Maybe put yourself, go to somewhere where you want to date. Maybe put your application into the job that you have been wanting. Your light is brighter right now, and especially around that Lionsgate, there might be doors opening for you that you have thought in prior that have been shut. These are really like following the breadcrumbs here. Like it feels like Spirit's dropping some new opportunities. You can walk right by them. You can look at those breadcrumbs and go, oh, look, breadcrumbs, haha. Or you can pick up the seeds and plant them. I'm kind of folding it into what I already talked about. There are certain opportunities dropping for you, but you have to say yes, pick up the seeds, start the new thing, and also nurture those seeds so they can grow a healthy roots, healthy plant, and then healthy fruit. And then finally, we are at that Lionsgate portal on Saturday. So Lionsgate will help us really anchor in some of these intentions that we're going through through this week, and maybe get us to the place where we feel a little more grounded in who we are and what we want to bring in. So let's get, that's kind of, we're getting out. Oh my gosh, I can't bring this up. Okay. First we have the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is like, I have, what's his name? Tom Hardy in Inception's voice in my head going, It's okay to dream a little bit bigger, darling. This is the dream big. He is looking at like pigs flying here. What you can imagine might actually come through, right? And it might come in as symbolism, like you might see a plane with a pig on it. Oh, look, pigs are flying. Our guides are kind of cheeky like that sometimes. But what you can dream of, what you can imagine, it's time to do that. It's time to allow the boundaries of your mind to release maybe a little bit of control, and then allow yourself to open yourself up to greater ideas and possibilities for yourself. And then we have the Two of Cups showing up again, which means there is potentiality for really strong partnership dynamics and relationships that will come in potentially this year for you. And again, here we are. We're finishing where we started with this King of Pentacles. This is telling me that you are mature enough to handle whatever comes your way. You're also mature enough to nurture those seeds that are given to you, aka the opportunities that are given to you. You are ready, you are worthy, and you are now mature enough to become the authority, the quiet, humble, sweet authority that you need to become to have the things you're dreaming of. All right, everyone, that is your weekly guidance for this week ahead. If you like what I do, you can always come back to this channel. I do these every Monday, and go ahead and look on our online store. I always wear wonderful, beautiful bracelets and things that will help us with these specific energies for the week ahead. And you can check that out in the comment box below and check out our store to get some tools that will help you with these energetics. All right, everyone, I will see you again next week. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.